Follow along as we build a fitting tribute to the Land Rover Defender. This series is brought to you by LR Centre Limited and Frost Auto Restorers and SIP Industrial Products. This week we're inspecting our rear tub on the Defender as well as starting prepping our engine block for painting. We're ready to start on the bodywork and the condition overall is not bad. The vehicle is suffering from some galvanic reaction in the typical Land Rover places where you have things like the steel rivets going through here. It started to react. Also on the back through the actual body capping we've got some rust appearing there. But overall it's not bad considering the age of this vehicle, 16 years old. I'm gonna begin to strip down, take off the wheel arches. I'm going to drill all these rivets out because I'm going to galv these body cappings. There's still a few fixings and stuff that need taking off before we can begin to prepare the bodywork for painting and priming, all the stuff we want to do to it. So let's set about doing that. First off, we've got the tub on an auto painting trestle and you can find these on eBay for a snip. At this stage, we're using a road traffic degreaser and it'll remove any dirt, oils from the paint surface so we can see exactly what needs attention and the condition. This is the only real problem area that we have on the Land Rover and it's caused again by aluminium, which is this panel touching steel components on the chassis with steel fixings, and so eventually the reaction, it doesn't rust but it does corrode, so that's what's happened there. This forms part of the seatbelt and chassis tub mount and it is a structural part of the tub at least. Fortunately, this is a part you can purchase from YRM Metal Solutions, which is exactly what we've done. They laser cut new parts so they're going to fit perfectly to replace any corroded areas such as this seatbelt area here. We can get that as a new component from them, and also the rear tub strike plate ends, those are replaceable. So we'll get those in the post soon and we'll show you how to fit them from start to finish. The TD5 V8 viscous fan spanner set arrived from Flatdog UK, so we'll remove the viscous fan to make painting and cleaning easier. The first spanner goes on the pulley bolts, the one with the 3 holes in it, and the cranked one on the nut behind the fan. It's shaped like this to save your knuckles and it is a massive benefit over some of the cheaper ones where it's flat and you will shred your fingers to bits. So put it on, undo it, then we can wind the fan off. As you can see, the engine is covered in muck, rubbish, oil, all kinds of stuff, and this has all built up over the years. It's been on the road for about 16 years. So you get a real baked on kind of horribleness because of the engine getting hot and what have you. The length that we're going to with the build, it just seems right now that we should redress the engine, sort that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to polish up the cylinder head and the valve cover and we'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're cleaning up the cylinder head and also the valve cover on the TD5. Normally this wouldn't be visible, and so to be honest, not really that important. But we're not going to put the black acoustic cover that is on there normally back in place. So what I've done is I've started to use a metal aluminium polisher and sealer. This is white diamond and it is working beautifully. I'm also using just a mini polisher, 75mm polisher from Sealy, an air one. This is really saving me a heck of a lot of time on this header in particular. And I've just removed from the top this seal, this like gaiter that goes around the oil filler hole, so I can get right into there. But because this is all bolted down, it's all sealed up, we can literally just go about sanding or polishing even straight away. So this stuff settles in the post. You want to shake it up good and proper. And then I'm going to apply it onto the valve cover. You probably want to put goggles on for this. It does spew out stuff everywhere. I like to use quite a dense, this is quite a firm foam polishing pad. Get a couple of these though, because you'll need them. And then spread the polish around so we're not going to be throwing that off unnecessarily. In terms of finish, I'm going to go to basically like a chrome mirror finish, and it's going to look pretty snazzy, and then it should, you know, really make the engine pop. So it's going to look good. We're doing this first because obviously we're throwing bits of the polish all over the place, then we can wash the rest of the engine down before we paint it. So you just want to put your polisher on, keep it moving around, try not to get too much heat build up, but because we're using quite a thick cast aluminium part here, it's not going to damage it, and just polish away until you're happy with the final finish and it's quite consistent across the board. It's actually pretty quick to do this. Literally had about 5 passes over this and it's almost mirror finish. Then I'm just using the microfiber towel to buff this off after letting it stand for a little while. And you're going to have to do this a few times to get a nice polish on. Probably something that not every Land Rover owner is going to do. One thing you need to look out for is that you get a polish with a sealant or you apply a sealant, because aluminium oxidizes. So we've taken that kind of dull layer of oxidization off, and then it will come back purely by exposure to the atmosphere. So this is a built-in sealer, so we shouldn't have to worry about it. And it's just going to take us a few more passes and then we'll have a beautiful mirror-like finish. Here it is before, and then partway through polishing, reaching about 70% mirror finish, so we're not quite done yet. And the air polisher takes so much hard work out of this, and you can actually make out the ceiling beams from the workshop in the finish, which is awesome. I'm also going to paint the block and the sump, and I'm going to do that almost the same colour that we are doing for the body, trying to get, you know, that kind of Series 1 look going. That's why we're doing it. It'll also help us identify leaks and problems in the future. If the engine's clean, then we can see very easily things like this, which we weren't able to identify quite so well. To do it, just going to use some of these brushes. They are very cheap. I think it was £2 or £3 for this whole set. You get some nice stiff nylon, stainless steel ones, as well as some brass wires as well. So we can use that in combination with a strong degreaser to get the whole thing thoroughly scrubbed down, ready for us to apply our engine enamel. So we'll start at the top and work our way down the engine. It's a laborious process, but painting is all about preparation. Skimp on the preparation and you're pretty much wasting your time really. I'm using the Frost chassis clean that we used in our chassis painting video. It's a very strong degreaser and will remove a lot of this oil. And then finally I'll move on to a brake cleaner for a final clean down. For areas like this with even more substantial corrosion, I'm using a Scotch-Brite pad, and it leaves less sanding marks. It's about the equivalent of a 400 grit sandpaper, and we've soaked it in our degreaser. And then you just need to spend time sanding and removing the rust, dirt and oil. So it looks like I know what I'm doing for the next week. I'll see you in the next episode. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of FunRover TV. You can see our last episode here, and also check us out on funrover.com. We are at FunRover on Twitter and Instagram, and we're also on Facebook.